Good morning, everybody. I'm not going to get too into what I'm talking about just yet. I need you to let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that sort of stuff. I feel really out of practice. Honestly, these things that I'm used to just doing, and this morning I'm sort of like, do I have everything set up? Oh my gosh, I've just had 2 weeks off. It's not the end of the world. So let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that kind of stuff. I think I can see me. I don't have the audio up on my phone though, so it doesn't do the whole, crazy thing. Hear you and see you. Ah, thank you. Thank you so much, chat, for letting me know. I really appreciate that. Good morning to you all. And how are you all going? I feel like it's been so long since we've chatted. It's one thing having a break like at Christmas or whatever. It feels totally different than having to can live streams when you're feeling sick. And I just was really it's been really hard for me the last couple of weeks, feeling like I'm letting people down, even though no one's making me feel that way. It's internal pressure. I totally get it. But yeah, just not doing live streams and not having videos made and just dropping the ball on pretty well everything. So if you're waiting on a response from an email from me, can you send me another one, because the backlog is just insane. I'm trying to get through it, but it's insanity. I'm just going to have a quick read of the chat here. Just realized my laptop's on a funny angle and I really just need to see if I can give it a move. There we go. So we've got heaps of people in the chat. So welcome and thank you to you all for coming. There's lots of people. Hey, Pip and Poppycock and Joss. Spanner Chick is in the house, and Sally Schilling are our mods for today. We may end up with another one or two popping in as the alerts go out. That would be really cool. So where are we? So I am feeling better than I was, definitely. I'm not 100% yet, but the other day when I wrote that post on Instagram, I was probably feeling about 60-70%, whereas today I feel more like 80%. So I'm definitely on the mend. I'm feeling a lot better. Breathing is really awesome, just so that we all know. Game Widows is popping in for a short video. Game Widow says, I'm not going to email you to add to the pile up. You will get there. Yeah, so for those of you waiting on hand-dyed yarn, it's a bit backlogged just because dyeing is one of those big jobs. Takes a lot of concentration, a bit of setting up, and especially if I'm dyeing to a recipe that I don't want to mess up. So I'm getting there. I'm hoping to start dyeing again next week. So next Tuesday when Andrea comes to help me, because then my brain isn't the only thing keeping an eye on it. Does that make sense? Kathy Breyer, welcome to the chat and thank you. I appreciate your messages. Lindsay, hey Lindsay, how are you? She's alive from Jackie Doyle. Yeah, that's definitely how I'm feeling right now. So long story short, I went to the doctors because, as you all know, my breathing was playing up.
And I've got a couple of other medical things, and so I thought, like I've got an iron deficiency and things like that. So I was just like, oh, look, I'll do all my checks while I'm here. It was a straight up checkup, right? Well, the doctor put some terrible thoughts in my head, and I have to go and get all this other testing done because she doesn't think it was just asthma. And so I had to go and get like chest x-rays and CAT scans and blood work and all this sort of stuff. The be all and end all was it's totally just asthma, but it's very bad. My lung capacity had dropped to 70%. And also my iron deficiency had gone down the toilet, basically. She was wondering why I wasn't blacking out is where we were at with my iron deficiency. So next thing you know, I'm on like getting my iron injection, which is something I do fairly regularly. And then they've had a second thought and they're like, you know what, this is really bad. We don't think the iron injections are going to do it. Got one today to get you through, but next week we want to bring you in for an infusion. So I'm like, righto, never had one of those before, but cool. Would love to feel great. Turns out there's a few side effects to an iron infusion, and I happen to get them all at once. So dizziness, lightheadedness, tiredness like you wouldn't believe. I could sleep for 18 hours and wake up and be tired and go back to sleep for another 18 hours. So I was pretty well useless as a human being for a little while there. I basically just got a few orders out as I could. I'm a bit behind in ordering stock as well. So those of you waiting on Chadview back orders, we had one shipment arrive yesterday, which I'm hoping to get into the post today. But the other shipments are a little later because I didn't get their orders in as quick as I would have liked. So I'm really sorry about that. I am definitely catching up. I'm slowly catching up, but I am catching up. So, and the thing I would say, the biggest thing that ticked me off about this whole last couple of weeks is my brain was so useless, I couldn't even knit or crochet. So I couldn't even sit comfortably in a chair and just sit back and watch Netflix and chill. So I got nothing done. So I'm still working on this same pouch because I pulled it out and it was just like, that'll do. So this will be my first knitting. So it may not work, honestly, is what I'm trying to prepare you for. My first knitting that I've done in weeks. So Spanner Chick says, considering the side effects, I'm thinking the slow and gradual injection might be better than the infusion. Yeah, also I've heard that maybe they did the infusion a bit quick and they could slow the drip feed down. So I'm going to talk to them about it. So, yeah, it's not been a fun time, chat. It's really not been a fun time. So more useless than usual. That's exactly right, Wench. Well done. Thank you very much for that. While all this has been going on, right, so like negative stuff, gone, okay? There's been some amazing things happening. We've got the Australian Crochet Guild is sorting out its very first conference. So those of you in the US, you've got your CGO Crochet, CGOA conferences and things like that. We've never had one here before. So we're about to have our first one in Australia. They're organising instructors. They're organising stall holders. It's going to be so much fun. So I've been, I'm going to have a stall. Kim, it's definitely going to happen, just so you know. Definitely having a stall at the Crochet Guild of Australia's conference. Making sentences is still weird. I'm also going to be attending the very first Redlands camp at Boona, of all places. So I've got that locked into the calendar. I've got the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show coming up. And in about 2 weeks, I'm off to New Zealand to teach at the Marjacraft camp at Papamoa Beach, which has been something plaguing my mind. Like, I need to be better for this. I need to be better. I don't want to miss out and I don't want to be a bad teacher. So all of that is just so many amazing positive things that are happening. And I'm excited by it, but at the same time, I'm energy drained. Does that make sense? Like, you can be totally thrilled and excited, but still like, that's great. Anyway, let me have another read here. So, just as well you can't get sacked. I could say that because you know I love you. Yes, Anna could be sacked and I'd still show up. Yes, I'm fully aware that that's exactly what would happen, Wench. So where are we? And the problem we're finding with we've got a bit of freezing going on. I think the internet here is not doing great. So please bear with me. I've noticed a few dropouts with our new NBN. Thanks, NBN. Loving it. No. So if I drop out or freeze, please just let me know. So yeah. I found, so Spanachik is looking for accommodation for us up at Marucci, which is where the Doobie Watts is, the convention. Rebecca Nilsson's popping off and on and off while cooking dinner. Awesome. Don't let the tea burn. Where are we? Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop us into 2-camera. So I will do that. Let me change this. Double camera. Bam. So one thing I wanted to say was, with all the mess ups and the delays that I'm dealing with here at Fiberific, because of me, it's not because of anybody else, it's because of me. Mystery Lace Club members have been getting their MLCs late. Now, everyone who is a Mystery Lace Club member would have just recently received an email explaining that the February box is going to be late as well because I missed my yarn order deadline. But what I wanted to say is, after talking with some indie dyers here local in Australia, one of them, Julie from Dyed by Hand Yarns, is shipping me some of her stock, so I don't have to wait for international shipping. So it will be late, but it will be nowhere near as late as if we had to wait for the yarn to arrive. So I really want to do a big shout out to Julie at Dyed by Hands Yarn. Go and check out her stuff. She does a beautiful dyeing herself. And I just wanted to just massive thank you, Julie, for just no problems. I can help. And not that other dyers weren't able to, but not a lot of dyers do lace weight. Oh, whoops, spoiler. So, but yes, anyway. So we had lots of dyers who were willing to help but couldn't because of what my requirements were. Don't rewind if you're in the Mystery Lace Club. So I just need to switch back here. Dude, seriously, how many of us usually jump on the project? That is true. That is very true. I do know that a lot of you are catching up or working on other things and stockpiling, what have you, but it doesn't make me feel any less bad when they're late, honestly. I've got this horror scenario in my head, okay? So there's this Ravelry group. I can't remember the name of it. But basically, it's where people go to list when they're having a bad time with dyers and clubs. And I have this horror nightmare that someone complains about me in this group. So I just, I'm just like, but I mean, the reality is this group is for people who, A, haven't shipped, don't communicate, don't respond to emails, and there's no knowledge. They just fall off the face of the earth and no one knows what's going on. It's like, hello, you've got 3 months worth of my club money and I received 1 club. Or you get the same club twice or something like that. Anyway, I don't want to be on that list. Rebecca's cooking mac and cheese and brats and beans. Can we all go to Rebecca's house? That sounds awesome. I love it. I had to explain to my US admin what we say when we mean by cooking tea. Oh, hello. Oh, and hello to Pip and Poppycock. Your shawl looks stunning. And it's just like, I need to make up some more of those packs because now I want to make that shawl. Not that I don't have 14 things for me to, look at. So, yeah, it is definitely a way to go. Gamer Widow says that she's received the same twice in 1 month, felt bad for the company. Yeah, that's a bit different if they're accidentally shipped twice, but if you get 2 separate months where they just send you the same thing because they couldn't come up with something else, that's more what the problem is. Spanachik says, I'd cook my brats, but I'd have to catch them first, and the big one's faster than me. Also, I don't think you have a pot big enough for your big one, or even your little one. Oh, you might have a pot big enough for the little one. I don't know. You could squish him down, right? Yeah, definitely Game of Widows. Stuff happens, for sure. Lindsay says it's very confusing. Which is confusing, Lindsay? Oh, when I say talk about cooking tea, where are we? I'm just scrolling through the chat. I'm not frozen. I'll keep moving my hands. Yeah, it is bad planning. And look, sometimes your plan flies out the window, or at least sometimes my plan flies out the window. But I normally have a backup plan, which is there. But the last couple of, with Christmas and the close down over January, and it was bad planning on my part too, really. I didn't allow for the fact that I might get really sick. You missed a combo on Tuesday with Stephanie. Oh, I did. It turned very dark. Oh, right. Yes, that sounds very dark. I'm probably glad I missed that combo. I would have probably put in way too many details and people would have been concerned. They're like noodles. Once they're hot, the hot water will soften them up and fit in. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So this is not going to be our usual stream, guys. So straight up, I'm not going to be doing any of the normal segments, nothing like that. I've got to go. I'm behind in doing our ARC donations. So I want to go through and work all that out and then get that sorted and fixed. But I haven't had the brain energy to run reports. Anyway, I'll get there. The money's sitting there waiting to be sent to them. I've just got to do it. And we'll work out how much to send and then do it. What are you knitting? Did you mention that they are ready? And that already. I did mention it already, Wench. It's a pouch. It's the same pouch I've been working on for I don't know how long, and it's about all my brain can deal with. And so I'm pretty happy that I'm actually knitting stitches at all. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, and it's a pouch. I'm just using up some of the Andromeda DK. I had about half a ball left, so I'm hoping I get a decent sized pouch out of it. I think I will. I'm just stockpiling my pouches. I've got to double check the ARC. Are they accepting donations again yet? I'm not sure. I'm going to go and have a look. But in the meantime, I can slowly make things, pop them aside until someone needs them. I've got local carers that need things as well. Di says, my brain isn't working too well. Oh, I know those feels, honey. I know those feels. If my mic drops out, let me know. I realised I put it away with it turned on. I've got spare batteries right here next to me, just in case. Hey, look at this. We did a round. Woot woot. So that's, camera. Oh, it came back on by itself. That's cool. Weird, but cool. Okay. Camera's back on. So the other thing I really noticed was I couldn't drink coffee for the last couple of weeks. I was able to have my first cup of coffee yesterday, which was so nice. Kerry Randallson, ARC are doing great things. Got an update with my last donation. They're amazing, honestly. And when they send people photos of animals in their pouches. It's beautiful. I just love it. I think it's really special. Spanachik says, I have a teeny bit left from a beanie I made. I'll bring that tonight. I doubt the animals will care that the colours are all hinky. I doubt that the animals will care either. I've got some more little mini balls of what is this again? Andromeda DK. So those of you in the MLC who have received your parcels, I would love to know if you've received them and if you like them, is my big question. So yeah, I'm very curious about these things. So yeah, and I mean, because I am seriously a huge fan of the colour. I love it a lot. A possibility of an ARC link. I think there should be one in the description of this video. Otherwise, if one of the mods can pop one in, that would be great. Kim's got hers. Well done, Kim. Hey, Jai, I haven't seen you in the chat in ages. I am feeling a bit better. Thank you very much. Diwen says, I loved my MS too, but I am a tad biased. Yeah. Andrea was over here helping me dye them all. And we had them dyed, right? And then that rain hit and they just sucked all the moisture out of the air. And I'm just like, they're not dry. And they took like a week and a half to dry instead of like 2 days. So that's one of the other reasons why they took so much longer, is even though I had help dyeing them, the stupid weather didn't help us. Spanner Chick's popped in a donation link. Thank you very much, Spanner Chick. Also, if you're interested, they have a Facebook page for the Animal Rescue League craft groupie thing. I can't remember. My brain, like, I'm not kidding, my brain is not being my friend at all. It doesn't let me know anything. Hey, Black Ribbon Crochet, how are you going? Game Widows has got to head off. New Nick group plus phone and interwebs being glitchy. I think my interwebs are being glitchy too, which is not helping. So it was great chatting with you again, Game Widows, and I'll catch you later. Have a great time at your new craft group. Speaking of craft groups, tonight is Caffeinated Crafters. So if you are local in the Brisbane region of Queensland, Australia, you should jump on up to IKEA at Logan and meet us up for tea. We'll be there from about 6:30 onwards, just chilling and relaxing. We're going to try and sit in their comfy area again today, which is the cafeteria, but at the back. So yeah, it'll be really, really fun. And I love it. Like, so even though I'm not 100%, I'm not contagious, because I don't have that kind of illness. So I'm still going to go. I don't know how long I'll be there for, but I'm going to go up and I'm going to have tea and I'm going to chill and I'm going to talk to human people. Like, not that you guys aren't human people, but I'm looking at a camera. Like, that's the reality of it. So go and talk to some human people. IKEA let you do that? Yeah, they got no problems with it. We all go in. We sit in an area. We go in on a Thursday night. For a start, it's pretty dang quiet up there on a Thursday night. We keep to ourselves. We have anywhere from, 10 to 20-ish. It really varies a lot. And because we all buy there, we're all customers. We all sit there and we have dinner or snacks and or a coffee or something. So, they've never complained. And I've spoken to some staff and no one has an issue. So, yeah, it's working well for us. So, I mean, I think it would be different if we were taking up a huge amount of space like on a Saturday morning when it's crazy. But we are there on a night when it's a bit quieter. So I think that makes a big difference for us. Chintamani's NBN died and didn't come back up for 4 days. That's ridiculous. That's nearly a week. So yeah, that is insanity. Yeah, no, I think it's really cool, Joe. Hey, Dizzy, how you going? So yeah, I think it's really cool that IKEA let us do it. I was actually chatting in another group on Facebook, a totally different niche, and the lady there was concerned because she has community who want to do meetups and she's not 100% comfortable with it. And I said, that this is what I do, and she was just like, oh my God, IKEA let you do that? And I'm like, well, my local IKEA do, but I mean, you could just check with yours. Is anyone going to the Crochet Guild conference? That would be me. I'm going to be there. I will be in the market room at this stage. Dizzy is home sick. Oh my gosh, Dizzy, I know those feels, honey. I hope you're feeling better soon too. Needing to breathe is one of those tricky things, isn't it? I just realized I keep pulling my hands away. So yeah, I've got to remember to keep my elbows on the table, and if I keep my elbows on the table, then my yarn is in shot. So yeah. Spanish Chick says apparently I'll be working there. Absolutely. So I've got to work out some details and what have you, but yeah, we'll be there. So are you planning on going, Jai? We should totally, if you're going to be there and I'm going to be there, we totally need to catch up, right? So, you know, like we'll sort something out closer too. The one thing to suck at is breathing. I agree with you. I agree with you. Uh, it is a pretty important life skill, rather. So yeah, hang on. I'm just going to have a sip of my drink in a second. My throat's getting a bit dry. Dizzy is applying to teach a class. Awesome. Oh, excuse me. Kathleen wants to know if anyone's going to Stitches West in Santa Clara in California this weekend. I'm an hour and a half, but I can't make it. Totes bummed. Ah, where are they holding it? Jackie, it's up at Marucci on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. It's beautiful. My husband was making noise about me being away for a whole week because I have something else on the weekend before as well. Then he got tapped to take a trip to the US for a week for work. So funny. I love that. I think it's really cool. It's like, I don't want to have to look after our family for a whole week by myself. But, oh, yes, by the way, I'm going to be away for a whole week so you can look after the family. That's my favourite. Jai says, I'd like to go, but it's a long way to Canberra. But you make it all the way to Bendigo, so I should. Well, I mean, using that logic, then yes, you should. But I also know how hard that trip is, so I totally understand. It is definitely a long trip. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's definitely. I mean, I've never been to a CG like Crochet Guild of Australia conference, so I can't tell you how good it's going to be. But I know the organisers, and they are a massively awesome bunch of ladies, and they'll be working their butts off to make it awesome for everybody. That's all I can tell you. And when it's September, Spanner Chicks on it. So it says the 24th to the 27th. Keep an eye on those dates because I think 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. I think the weekdays of that, I'm not 100% certain about this. I think they are for the teacher training only. So if you can only make it up for a couple of days, don't feel like you're missing much, but make sure you hit the weekend rather than the weekdays. I think that's how it's going to work. I'm not 100% certain on that though. I will find out. So Fran's going to be, oh no, Fran, that sounds terrible. Oh dear, you're going to be in the UK, Yarndale. Oh, you poor thing. How are you ever going to cope that you're missing out on this great event? Oh, wow. I'm a bit jelly, actually. I'm trying to work out my calendar for events for this year because I'm starting to be invited to a few more, which is really nice and I'm really enjoying it. Some of them I can't get to. Some of them, I've got this one that wants me to travel interstate for a one-day event and I'm just like, I'd love to, but you do know I'm in Queensland, right? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, okay. Has she done a support spindle session in the recent past? If you mean me, Betty, I don't think I have actually, and that's a really good point, and I need to because I'm a support spindle junkie and I need to get my spindles out to get the spin on. I've been working on what I'm going to be teaching in New Zealand and practicing and making sure I'm feeling comfortable with it. I always stress out before I teach something and I refresh myself over and over again to make sure that, like, what if someone asks me a question? Oh my God, am I going to be able to answer it? So I try and run through everything like 20 times and I actually do it in front of a mirror of all things. You know what I should do? I should record it and then watch it back. Anyway, thanks, Betty, for putting that in my head. But so while I'm in New Zealand, I'm going to be teaching a spindle spinning technique called Ply on the Fly. So it's you can pretty well do it on any kind of spindle, but we're going to focus on doing it on Turkish spindles. So I've been practicing that, but I definitely need to be getting my support spindle back out. Betty White, it is Betty White. Sorry, Betty. I looked at it and thinking that no, that can't be right, but it is. It's just spelt differently. I loved watching you spin. Thank you, Betty, and I'll definitely get some more spindle videos happening. If you guys have any suggestions for future pre-recorded videos as well, not just live stream things to do, but the pre-record stuff as well, just send me a message on social media, or even leave it in a comment on one of my videos. I see all the comments, or I see most of the comments, and I'll add them to my list. Are you going to New Zealand in August? No, I'm not. I'll be in New Zealand in March. Spanish Chick says, I'm hungry. Good job, Spanish Chick. You should get a snack. Surely you have snacks handy. Like, I know you. There'll be snacks handy. Where are your shorties vid? Look, I haven't made any vids since anyway, I will get there. The shorty vids is coming. There's actually a pile of vids on their way. I just haven't been up to recording, but the vids are coming. I've got a nice list. I've got some step outs ready for one video that I'm going to do, and stuff is happening, like slowly. It's all slow, I'm sorry guys, but it is definitely happening. A video about the different types of spinning you can do. I never knew there was such a huge choice for spinning. Oh, so many choices, honestly. It's like, how do I describe it? It's like crochet hooks, right? There are so many, just so many different brands and styles to suit each individual creator. And that's the same thing with spinning. You can spin on a wheel, you can spin on a kick spindle, a drop spindle, a support spindle, electric spinning. Like, there's so many options for spinning, and that doesn't even go into all the different styles of spinning. Did you get in touch with Bellevue? I had a quick look at their website, and then had actually received a beautiful message from Julie at Dyed by Hand Yarns. So am I saying that right? I hope I am. And she was able to organise something for me, and it's already shipped. She shipped it for me, so it is coming, and it's beautiful. So I will squish those and love them and make them Mystery Lace Club very soon. Spanish Chick says, it's also like knitting, lots of different tools that you can choose from, and lots of different ways of actually creating the fabric. Absolutely. Oh, of course, that's probably a better analogy than crochet. Well, I was using crochet hooks, but yeah, it is definitely a good way to think about it. Is as long as at the end of your project you're happy with your finished product, then it doesn't actually matter how you've done it. So when people go, you're doing that wrong, what they probably mean is you're not doing it the same way as me. Now, years ago, I would say that to people, why are you knitting like that? That's wrong. And it was because I didn't know better. And now I know better, and I know not to say those things to people. And I know that there's multiple ways to do things to get beautiful knitted fabric, and we all like to do things a bit differently. So there's no wrong way. Now, if you're unhappy with what you're getting, then that's a bit of a different topic, and then you can be all like, I'm not happy with what I'm getting. How would you get what I want, if that makes sense? Like, how would you knit this stitch to make it sit like this? And that's a different thing. But if someone's creating and they're happy with their finished product, that's it. That's the end of story. Kim, I mean, dadgummit anyway. Oh, wow. I missed something what Kim said, didn't I? Yes, I did. I've missed something. There's so many comments, you guys. Thank you for leaving so many comments. I really appreciate you all jumping in at such short notice. I know I didn't put the thingy up last night to let everybody know that it was going to be on. Would you think about coming to the Canberra Celebration Wool in mid-May? Definitely. And I've been meaning or trying to get down there for the last 2 years. And it's just, like you say, it's a big trip from Queensland to Canberra. I don't know if I would do it as a stall holder for my first trip. I think I would go down and have a look. But yeah, I would definitely love to come. I've seen video. Claire goes down. Kylie went down last year. Just so many of my yarny friends love it, and I really need to go. I definitely had FOMO last year when they all went without me. I was very sad. When you go global, start a once-a-year scholarship to work. What? Kathleen, my brain is really not good. When you go global, start a once-a-year scholarship to work drawing, and I will win the first one. There's Singleton as well. I know Span on Chick. There's so many amazing Yarny events coming up. And I'm just like, oh, I need to do them all, but I really can't do them all. Come on, there's plenty of buyers. I'm sure there are. I'll have a think. Because I'm normally in May. I'm normally already freaking out about Bendigo, really. So I'll have a look at the dates, and I will talk to my husband, and I will see what I can do. We need to do a yarn show tour. Yeah, but like the reality is we don't have many here in Queensland, so we would need to go interstate. So I'll start. Oh, okay. If someone in my area, I'll go to your September event. I'll start fasting now so I can fit in their luggage. Redlands is in June. Yeah, that's the thing, because there's a Redlands Spinners, like they call it Warped and Twisted, which is their regular event, which I do that one every year. And I think that's why Redlands have invited me along to their retreat as a stall holder. And so, yeah, there's the Redlands retreat. There's the Redlands Warped and Twisted Day, which is in June. Bendigo in July. Crochet, I keep thinking of it CGOA. It's not. I can't call it that in my brain. I'll get so confused. Crochet Guild of Australia is in September. I don't know if I'm going to make it to VidCon this year because of all the amazing Yarny things. And I think I'm going to prioritize Yarny things this year. We can take so much stock to the guild, seeing we'll all have our cars to fill up. Yeah, absolutely, but we will only have a certain size stall, so someone will have to be running out to the cars for restock. Like, that's a reality. We could start a Google Calendar to add all of the shows. We could. Who would like to take that on board? Because the reality is, while I would share it on my website, I would never keep it up to date, and that would be useless. And I would need to keep it to events sort of above a certain size. Like I don't want just fates and like markets and things like that, but like actual events. Jai says, I'd like to get a dinner together on the Saturday night for all the dyers, designers, and makers. For which event is that, Jai? Are you talking about for the Canberra wool? Because that sounds awesome. I love that idea. There's a lot of dyers that I talk to online that I've never met in life who are Australian dyers because they don't do Bendigo for whatever reason, or they do Bendigo and don't leave their stalls like me. I don't normally leave my stall, so we're kind of there. We're not running around. So, yeah. Hey, Kylie. We're talking about all the Yarny events that are going on in Australia this year. Jai's trying to talk me into going to World of Wool in Canberra. What do you reckon? And the Crochet Guild of Australia's meetup in September. Got that one as well. Yep, you're talking about the Canberra one. That's good. That was where my brain went. So that's nice that my brain went somewhere proper for a change. Oh, hang on. I've killed a stitch. I just need to... What did I do to it? Get on there. Okay. Something I've worked out, right, is when my brain is not being my friend, do you know what kind of movies I watch on television? Like, they are not what I thought. I thought I'd be all about the, like, rom-coms and stuff like that are really easy watching. No, it turns out I need action movies. I need full-on, guns blazing action movies like... Olympus Has Fallen and like San Andreas, like full on like they're a bit corny. Like don't get me wrong, they're a bit corny, but they're totally action movies. Kathleen's off because her cell phone's dying. Sorry, Kathleen. I'm working on getting better. I really am. I'm trying to be really good. And not push myself too hard. So, thank you. Sorry, yes, it's not the World of Wool. Why do I call it the World of Wool? It's a celebration of wool. Kylie is thinking about sussing it out as well. Kylie's from Fibre Lily. When did you say that was? May sometime. Alison says she loves action movies. So do I, Alison. I think action movies are awesome, but I just think I was expecting my brain to want like calmer, less like motion. Turns out no. I think it was because that's sort of the only thing that was moving was the television. So I was just like, righto, I'll just stare at something else running around like a loon. So yeah, it has been a crazy week. And I think I've watched London Has Fallen and Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down at least 2 times each in the last 2 weeks. So yeah. And like what do we have here at the moment? We're about to cancel some, but we've got Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. There's something else. Oh, no, well, YouTube, but I wouldn't be cancelling YouTube. So, because I've got YouTube Premium. But yeah, so like I'm just like I've got all these streaming services with all these options, and yet, and like because I've sat there like flick, like trying to choose what I'm going to watch. I'm like, look, I'm just going to put on Olympus Has Fallen because I like that one. And Singleton is Fiberfest, isn't it? Is that right? So that's Singleton in October. Celebration of Wool in May. Bendigo in July. Man, I need to get some frequent flyer miles going on. But it's a shame I have to drive because otherwise I get to take no stock with me. I'd need to find out some information about stalls and what have you. Because yeah, I would just need to find out more information. Rebecca says, I don't watch the TV much. My parents hog the TV. I know that feeling. My dad's staying with us at the moment. There's a funny story about that. I'll tell you in a second. But he loves YouTube. And so he will be sitting on the couch with his YouTube selections just playing. I mean, admittedly, we've all got our own laptops here. My daughter has one for school. My husband has one for work. And I've got this one, and I've got like my little Surface Pro in my craft room, and we can all watch streaming services. Abby's got just a little standalone TV in her room, so she can watch television in there as well. We have a lot of devices for watching TV, so we kind of all really do get to watch what we want when we want. Watch Red 1 and 2. I've watched Red 1. I haven't watched Red 2. I should totally watch Red 2. Kylie says she loves how I knit. Oh, thanks, Kylie. It just works, so that's how I do it. It's comfortable. Yeah. Jai says, I don't think I could die enough to do Bendigo. Well, I mean, the thing is, Jai, the stalls, in the scheme of craft shows, the stalls at Bendigo are not too expensive. Like, they're not cheap. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie to you. But they're not too expensive. And you could make your money back fairly quickly. But making a profit on your first year while you're working out stock levels could be iffy. But I can't imagine why you wouldn't make your money back if you've got yarn that people like, even if you've just got a bit. So I think admittedly, Joe, you know I full well sell spinning wheels and knitting needles and crochet hooks and all the other stuff. But I think my first year that I took yarn, I only took like 30 or 40 skeins with me because I didn't know how many to do. Now I take 300, but again, I've got other stock as well. So it would probably be better to talk to somebody who just has a yarn-only stall to work out how much yarn you need to take. Hey, Jess, so you made it to the chat. Dizzy has Fetch. I haven't got Fetch. So, how much is the dollar difference between CGA and Bendigo? We don't have prices for CGA yet. So, they're still working all that out. So, I've got no firm prices to compare it yet. So, but like, the thing with Bendigo is there's 20,000 people through the gates. Not everybody is a yarn buyer. Some people are there for the sheeps and the doggies and all the other wool things. Whereas the CGO event will have much less. Carly Vitt says that she took about 400 to Fiberfest But that was a one-day event. There you go. Kylie's yarn only, you guys. And Kylie, if you don't mind me asking, did you have much to take home, or did you sell most of it? I don't need exact numbers, just ballparkies. Because I know sometimes, like I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll have like a pile of colours and then I'll have like 6 or 8 of each colour, or I try to, so that people can have enough to do specific projects. Then other colours I've only kind of got 2 or 3 for. So yeah, Diz, we've got no prices for stalls or ticket prices yet. There's nothing out yet. It's coming soon. They're just getting feelers for teachers and people if they're interested in an event to see if it's worth doing the work. I was talking to some friends yesterday and they are working on it, but they don't have anything firm as yet. It'll come out. It'll be on social media before I find out about it, honestly. Kylie says don't ever have much to take home. That is nice, Kylie. So 400 skeins is a good place to start if you only dye yarn. Whereas for me, I think last year I did about 300, but I also had other stock and I still brought home about 100. So also I dye different stuff than you guys. Like, I'm all about the semi-solids, and I know not everybody are interested in hand-dyed semi-solids. So, and I'm getting more into the speckles. Like, I've got some speckles. Do I have a speckle here? Oh, I've got these guys. These are something new that I'm trialing. I don't know if you can see them. What they are is tiff, like a dark tiff base with tiff speckles or splodgies. Just on Pegasus. There's just 2 of them. I don't even think they're on the website. But these guys are really cute. And I think the reason I haven't put them on the website is I'm tossing out whether to keep them for myself. I don't normally do tiff. I'm normally definitely a lake person. Definitely go the more greeny colour. But this, with these darker blue bits, I definitely like. So there's that. But that's not really speckles. Kavit says, I love hand-dyed semi-solid. Me too. I use them more. It's the thing. I love speckles. I love to use speckles. But I find I do tend to prefer to use the semi-solids. I don't know why. Where are we? Gradient kits. Yes, definitely, Pippin. And that's your fault, by the way. That shawl is stunning. And I sat there and went, oh my God, I need to do more gradient kits because I don't think I have any at the moment. Let me have a look here. Oops. Well, I mean, like, I love this speckle so much, the Skull Candy and the Fiberific Limited. I can't believe some of these are still here. Honestly, I'm in shock because these are just so cute. But then we've got the Essence of colorways. So it's like, this is the color I usually dye. So that's Slimer, but this is Essence of Slimer. So the colors that I mix to make Slimer, I mix them together just as they're powders and sprinkle them on. That's why we get the blue and the yellow and the green all broken up because they haven't been blended together. So, yeah. Fran says, I've nearly finished my cardi in the dye stream yarn you did in speckles using my photo. Oh, I can't wait to see it, Fran, honestly. Dizzy says, Skull Candy, what I keep accidentally calling birthday cake. Yeah, because we that was inspired from a picture of a skull candy. What else have I got here? Okay, well, so like here's to go further on the theme. So that's Slimer with Essence of Slimer. Now this is Double Down Slimer, which is a Slimer base that I actually put the sprinkles on top of as well. So what do you think? Do you think it's worth keep doing with that? Because why I did that is because I have I don't think I've got any Dami Lou. I mean, I've got some. Oh, is that violet? That's violetish. That's not Dami Lou. So I mean, I did it with Dami Lou one time, which is I did the Dami Lou with sprinkles, which was the light violetish, which is Dami Lou, and then put the sprinkles over the top. Face cam is off. Is it coming back on? No. Let's do that. I clicked the button. No, hang on. There we go. I didn't click the button hard enough. All right, so what do you think of like the different variations of like the Slimer with sprinkles or the undyed with sprinkles, like not as a pack or anything, but just as they are? Friend loves them. Knitspin Girls is saying, oh, so someone asked about Swifts and I missed it. Thank you for answering, Knitspin Girls. I appreciate it. Spanichick has put a post in the fun zone with a calendar link. Is that for all the events? Hey, Rebecca. Thank you. Are you redoing the koala gum leaf ball? No, I don't normally redo any of them, but there's still some koala in a tree, if that's what you're talking about. I've still got some koala in a tree on the website, which is like the undyed with some grey and some of this really pretty lichen-y green. There's a few of those still on the website. Is that what you're talking about? So Nikki K says she loves sprinkles. I love sprinkles, Nikki K. See, I'm more of I like my sprinkles a bit more like this one and this one. But this style is growing on me where it's the solid or the semi-solid colour with sprinkles. Because when I made my jumper, my add-along sweater from Deanne, I used, which is what this yarn's left over from, I used lake, and the top part of the bodice I had lake with blue sprinkles. So I quite like that too. So yeah, so I'm just seeing like what else I've got with sprinkles in regular stock. I don't think, I mean, all my regular stock's over there. This is just what, I'm just can only go with what's behind me. So, nope. I mean, there's lots of limited things that come in sort of speckles and sprinkles and things like, you've got Peach Blossom, which was a limited as well. So if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about with the difference between the standard colours and so like the blue Fiberifics versus the Fiberific Limited in the red, these are dyed live on dye streams, which will be starting up soon as I get better. I was hoping to do one in February, but it's not going to happen. So these are made using your photos that you sent to me on Instagram using Fiberific Inspo. And I dye yarn to match your photos. Okay, so someone sent in a photo of a peach blossom tree, and so this is the photo. So I sort of had a look at and picked out the colours, which are some beautiful pinks, some beautiful greys, some speckles of brown through it. So that's how I made the peach blossom. So, and that's the same. There was a picture of skull candy. This one was a koala sitting in a gum tree. So yeah, so you're right, Nikki K. Sprinkles can really lift a solid colour. You're really right. Where are we? I mean, then these ones aren't really, I mean, would you guys, I wouldn't consider this so much sprinkles, more like, I consider it splodges, right? But again, I still like it, but I would probably blend this with another colour. Like I would work it in, like I couldn't make something unless it was like for a kid. I couldn't make something where it is like all this colorway. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd probably go with either grey, because I love grey. I'd either go with a grey or maybe a pumpkin. Yeah, maybe a pumpkin, depending on, again, who it's for and what it is. So, so roast pumpkin would work with this one. Look, I think Slimer would work with it, but I think it might be too much. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so like, well, this was an impromptu play with colour, wasn't it? But yeah, so the Swifts work without being attached to the spinning wheel. No, the Margicraft Swifts now only come as an on wheel. You can't buy the Margicraft freestanders anymore, unfortunately. Do you have to be a member of the CGA to attend their event in September? I have no idea. I would assume yes, but I don't know. The speckled slime would be great with it. Yeah, it's definitely got that right green tone, doesn't it? But you don't think like speckles on here plus crazy colour mix there would be too much? About to send me a Fiberific Inspo pic named Crazy Quaker. Oh, that sounds cool. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, so I definitely, I don't know. I suppose it depends on what you're making, doesn't it, really? Um, Spanish Chick says, I thought you wouldn't need to be, but you get a discount on your ticks if you are. That would actually make a lot of sense. That would make sense. Spanish Chick says, I think that's what they do in the US. Yeah, and I think we're using a US model on the Australian one. So that's a possibility. I have no idea, you guys. I really don't. Jess says, I'm really into pattern mixing. See, Jess, I'm really into semi-solids. So I really struggle when it comes time to pattern mix or something like that. But then I'll see someone who's done it and I'll just be like, oh my God, that looks fantastic. I really like things like color work where you have two different crazy yarns or even a semi-solid and a crazy yarn. When did Chow come out needles like Flexi Flips? So Chow brought out their blue shorties about, I don't know, last year, September. It would have been April of last year, blue shorties, and you can attach the very short cable between the two very short tips and create your own Flexi Flips. So April last year, I don't know. Daiwen says I may need some of that pumpkin to go with my Zomet. Because what's this one? This one's not Zomet. You've got, which one's the Zomet? Maybe this is Halloween. Zomet. I think you've got the last of the Zomet, Andrea. So yeah. My mum used to be an artist, so I'm really bold with colour and paint pattern mixing. See, my dad's an artist, but he is very much into like landscapes and stuff like that. So I think that's a bit more sort of gradual. I mean, I say that. My dad also does crazy art as well. Yeah, the blue ones you had in time for Bendigo, as I picked mine up from there. Yeah, so I got mine in time for Bendigo, but I think they were released in April. Dizzy says, always an artist, never was. Yeah. All right, does anybody want to see anything else held together, just out of curiosity, before I put all these away so I can keep knitting? So let me know. So yeah, I really like koala in a tree, and I think that would make something really beautiful and subtle. Has anyone got tips on which skeiner to get? Look, I think there's so many different skeiners, and it depends on what you want it for, Jai. Jai, do you want it for a work thing, or do you want it for just you bought a hank of yarn and you just need to wind it into a ball? And I think those sort of questions we need to all ask ourselves before we buy any tools is, what am I going to use it for? Personally, for me, as a business owner and someone who uses a Swift all the time, because most of my yarns come on cone, so I have to wind them into these hanks first, I am A1, go the Nancy's Knickknacks from Margicraft. It is expensive, but it is worth every single cent. It is the one piece of yarn kit. I've had it now for, have to be 5 years, and it does not stop. All right, I've got the motorized Swift, but you don't have to buy it motorized. You can buy it as just a what do you call it? A handle, a manual one. And I splurged out and I got it with the triple sheds, which means I can do 3 skeins at once. I can program in how many meters per skein I want, so I do have to do a little bit of math first. I normally do 1 to start with on a new yarn, check it by weight and put it back on and get it right. And then I will just do 3 skeins. Well, actually at the moment Andrea will program it in, and you can press start, walk away, work on something else. It beeps and stops, you cut it, you tie it off. And you can have skeins up to 2 yards, I think, on a standard one. Any skeins do weight. What do you mean by that, Dizzy? So yeah, my Swift can unwind skeins as well, but I actually find it to be a little heavy for that. The ball winder is not the biggest fan of it, and I tend to use just a pop-up umbrella Swift if I'm going to wind skeins into balls. But for making skeins out of coned yarn, you can't go past it. Jai, send me a message because I'll talk to you more about that. Don't look at the prices on my website. As a business owner, there's a different deal. Do they something by weight, not meters? I weigh out 100 grams and then tell you how many meters is in that 100 grams, but no skein winders, as far as I'm aware, have scales built into them to work out how much weight you've got. Oh no more voice posts. Skein by weight, not meters. Yeah, so I know that 100 grams of this yarn comes out to be about, how many meters is it? I can't remember now. My brain, it's like, oh yeah, I know. No, about 390 meters is what I get for 100 grams, whereas this one, 100 grams is more like 190 meters. So I work it the other way. I work out the weight that I want my skeins, because everyone likes a nice 100 gram skein. I mean, I've seen sellers sell 85 gram skeins, and look, if I've got small batches and seconds and what have you, I'll put them up. I'm not going to waste them. But most people like a nice 100 or 50 gram skein, or even 200 if you can swing them. But yeah, most places do it by weight and meters, but no Swifts measure by weight. Does that answer the question? I don't know. I'm just going to throw all these back up here. Did you guys know that we still have some of the blue cotton candy, which is a sparkle yarn? Can you see the sparkle? I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Can you see it sparkling? It's got sparkle. Anyway, I've got a few skeins of this left, so if you want any, let me know. I'll check the website. I don't even know if it's up on the website. That's how much my brain's not working. It's got 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver stellina. I love it. I think it's all beautiful. But yeah, I've got a couple of those left. So I'm going to move these. Oh, man, see this orange? I love this orange so much. It's looking a bit darker on camera, I think. It's a dash lighter than what you guys are seeing there. I've got to make something with it. I don't know what to... Oh, bye yarn. It's on the ground now. I'll have to deal with that one later. But yeah, I've got to make something with it, but I don't know what I'd make with it. Dizzy says, I didn't know you had a sparkle. That was a Mystery Lace Club colour. As the Mystery Lace Clubs come out, so 3 months later, they're available, or the left, like what's left, because I normally dye a few extras, is available for public. Would koala in a tree match mist? Yes, it would, absolutely. The mist is paler, so it's more like I think koala in a tree has got a bit more of a koala and grizzle sort of tone to it, but it would really match the mist nicely. They're made from the same dye. It's a different tonal match, so they won't work against each other. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'll give you a call next week if that's okay. Absolutely, Jai, no problems at all. That orange would look beautiful with a grey and a pale pink. Oh my gosh, you are right. I'm like looking here, like, do I have a grey and a pale pink to look at it with? Let me have a look. I've got some minis here. I've actually got a mini mist, so I can do, where did I put it? There you go. So that is koala in a tree, and that is mist. What do you think? Do you think they would work together? I'm just trying to get the best bit of colour there. And see, the camera's making it a bit yellow. It is not yellow. It is definitely a light green. So yeah. They will absolutely, they'll complement each other instead of being an exact match, for sure. And orange and grey always look together. I agree with you. I don't have any grizzle or koala here. I've only got the mist. So we've got the orange and the mist, which does work. But I think the orange would look better with, I've got koala, which is the next, which is a bit darker than that one. I mean, the reality is I do you guys remember at Christmas for the Mystery Lace Clubbers, they got that big bag of minis? I got one of those left too. So it's like 25, 55 metre minis. They're not by weight, I did them by metres because they were for a specific pattern. Apparently, she has 3 times 100 grams in stock. Is that for the koala, for the koala in a tree or the koala? Because koala in a tree is a Fiberific Limited, and yes, there are 3 of them, but I'm not sure about koala itself, like just the plain grey koala. I'm not sure. I love orange. Oh, look at this. Look, here we go. Can I bring this closer? All right, my blanket is with grizzle grey. So this is grizzle grey here. So the orange with the grizzle, I'm trying to block off the red. The orange with the grizzle grey, let me just do this. What do you think? I'll bring it over a bit, there we go. I think it works best with the grizzle grey, personally. I think it would look amazing with the grizzle grey. So yeah. Because this blanket's got a whole pile of my colours in it, and it's just hanging there, and I didn't even think to use it. So let me look. How does Mist look next to Peach Blossom? Peach Blossom. Where did I put you? Hang on. It's hiding because I just threw them all in the wrong spot. Mist next to Peach Blossom. Hang on, I'll just get some stuff out from under it just so it's not quite so busy. I'll hang this back up, kind of. Are you up? Are you staying? Okay. Mad skills. Okay. Mist. I actually think they would work beautiful together. Mist next to Peach Blossom. Sally says, "Oh man, I'm hating my computer at the moment. It keeps freezing up on me. Is it you or me? Because I think I'm freezing as well." So, and there's like more colours up there. So, you know, a bit more of the pink, a bit more of the grey, little bits of orange and brown, but I don't think this grey takes away from that orangey brown. Hi Bob, welcome to the chat. So yeah, so I think they work together personally. Just as I think all of those colours are great. I agree with you. That's why all the ones in that blanket, that fell down, all the ones in the blanket are repeatable. These are all my standard, like these are 12 of my standard colours. I just go like this. There we go. We've got Violetish and Soulstone and what's that pink one called again? Lipstick. And the green one is Poison Ivy, and there's the pink one in the middle is Joss, and then there's Dandelion, and hang on, I'm getting there, Agave, and Tiff, and what's next to Tiff? Sherbet Orange, and Blurple, Slimer, and what's that one? The red one is, oh my gosh, my brain just quit. Hang on. The red one, Scarlet Witch. Sorry, I had to think about that. Now, blanket, I'd like for you to go up and stay up, if it's all the same to you. Thanks. Wanda. No, we've got Wanda as a different red. That one's Scarlet Witch. Oh no, it's you. Oh no. It's a dandelion. The going joke is I keep calling it daffodil. Pippin says, I think I'll go with koala in a tree. Here we go. I'll do this for you, Pippin, so you can see them both. There we go. I'll get rid of that one. So there you go. It'll depend on the pattern. You might lose the grey in the peach blossom next to the mist. Yeah, but there's not much grey by itself. There's a lot of cream by itself. The greys are a bit different. They're tonally different. But yeah, I don't know. What's that? Can't see them both. Face cam is covering the koala in a tree. Oh, sorry. There we go. Is that better? Hang on, I've just got to switch over to my OBS. There we go. I can see. There we go. All right. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee while you have a squeeze. I think I have missed already in the Leo. Yeah, I think you do. Leo 2 is, for those of you that don't know, is our Leo 2 is our Kid Mohair Silk blend. And yeah, there's 400 meters in 50 grams of this and 390 meters in 100 grams of that, held together in maybe not those two colors, but the two types of yarn held together works. I like the pop of yellow in koala in a tree. The thing is, it's not really yellow. It is definitely more of a green. The camera's just picking it up wrong. I think there's better photos of it on the website, honestly. Nikki K says that the koala and a tree combo is working for her. Do I have any mist in this handy? No, I don't. I've got coffee, teal, lake. Or is that lake or candy cotton? I think that's candy cotton. It's definitely not lake. All right. Spanish chick likes the peach blossom, but it's because you like pink, honey. I can't find the sparklies on the website. Okay, Lindsay. I will have a look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins of the sparklies. If you want to send me a DM if you want the sparklies, let me know. But I'll show you something here as well. I also have 1 skein of a matching Leo 2. So I'll have to check the price for these because I don't have a price on them because they're MLC. I'll check the price and I'll let you know. But I know that one's 20. So they go together if you want one of each, which is what went out as a Mystery Lace Club. Otherwise, I'll find out a price. I don't know how much they are, but I have 4 of them, is what I can tell you. And I only have them in that colour because they're a Mystery Lace Club. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on the ground. Okay. Up there, little yarn. You two. And I'll get this mini back in the mini basket. I knew I had another one of those. Oh, insanity. All right, let's have a... Okay. And that's not a mini size. This is a mini size. That's a 25 gram mini. And that's a 10 gram super mini, which we had for our Christmas specials or Black Friday specials or some sort of special. We had them all. But yeah, our minis, so our 100 gram skeins, our 25 gram skeins, and every now and again, only as a special treat, I'll bring out 10 gram skeins. But then every now and again, I've got all these like little tiny bits that I don't think, they might be 10 grams. I'd have to check them. But we've got all these little, like, they're not on the website. None of those are on the website. Back in the basket. I don't know why those two are in the basket. I can't answer that question. Cherry ripe. Yeah, there's a bit of cherry ripe there. I drool every time a bit of blue pops up. Mel says definitely looks more green on the website. It's definitely more green. It's not. It's definitely like a licheny eucalyptus green. It's not a bright green, but it's definitely not yellow. Bub likes the peach blossom better. Yeah. Both Claire and I have the same favourite colours, blue. So yeah. Spanachik happens to be eating cherry ripe slice right now. Somebody sent me cherry ripes for me to eat on camera, and I ate them, and I'm going to have to bite more so that I can eat some on camera. And I'm sorry. I think it was Jackie, but I'm not 100% certain. But I was saving some in a little container, and I'm not sure if I ate them or if they were eaten by other people in my house who found my container of sneaky hidden chocolate, because I swear they sniff it out. But whichever way we look at it, it's gone. So I have to do it again. So yeah, so I'm just plodding along here, you guys, just trying to catch up on everything. I've got a Chowgu order arrived, so I've got some stuff to ship out for people. I know it's not everything. I know I have to put in more orders as well. I've got more orders that have to go in, and I'm just a bit behind. I feel really bad. And what happens is I'm sitting here knitting, feeling bad that I'm knitting when I should be doing these other things. But I need to be knitting right now. Like, it's what I can't be putting orders in while we're live streaming. that would be a really boring live stream. If you think that sometimes these get a bit boring, that would be dull. That would be a production stream, is what that would be. That would be I'm doing these things, and you can sit here and watch me and chat with me every now and again, but that would be it, because I've got to do boring things. We do a lot more production. For those of you that doesn't know what a production or don't know what a production stream is, heading up to some of the bigger events, I have to justify in my own brain this wonderful hour and a half that I sit here chatting with you guys. And so I will actually sit here and work on blinglets or pricing things or little jobs that have to get done before the show. So sounds silly, but I'd like to make kits to sell, but have no idea where to buy bulk hooks from. There's heaps of places you can look it up, Dizzy, but most places won't do you a wholesale rate unless you are set up as a business with an ABN. Now, Rebecca Nelson has given us a time warning. Thank you, Rebecca. So what am I knitting? I am knitting some Andromeda DK in the semi-solid lake colorway into a little pouch. I'm using one of the patterns from sorry, I just read Bob Wilson's post, because she's like, hey, and I'm like, I thought she said you suck as a friend, and I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? But no, she sucks as a friend. I just remembered, even though you reminded me. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Claire. It took me a second. You don't suck as a friend. You got stuff to do, honey. I understand. Yeah, so I'm working on one of the, I have to check, I think this is a kangaroo pouch, the ARC Craft Guild. That's right. On their page, they've got a notes section, and one of those notes section is patterns. It's one of those. And Jess made it in too, so Team Bob Wilson, bam, bam, bam. And Kylie's here too somewhere, or at least she was. You don't suck, you're the bestest. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's definitely from the ARC Craft Guild for sure. Yeah, it's a pouch. So, yeah. It is one of those things. Now, speaking of ARC Craft Guild, guys, I still have some of the beautiful DK 8-ply special price yarn that I've got set up for donations for people who are making things for the ARC Craft Guild or any other animal rescue guild in their area. So check out the Fiberific DK special page. It has got some tiered pricing, so you can have a look and see what works for you. There you go. Kylie's cleaning her oven. Hang on. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's the other thing. In all these things, like all these tests and everything, sorry, the sneeze reminded me, is I found out I'm not allergic to, I thought I might be becoming allergic to yeast because I was having problems with bread. But anyway, not. But I'm highly allergic to dust mites, which I didn't know. Pippin says, can you something 2 koalas in a tree for me? Do you have 2? Yes, I do. I have 3. There's 3 there, and I can hold 2 for you. So, yeah. We need to have an event with Team Fiberific, Team Bob Wilson, and Team Fiber Lily. We do. The trick with Team Bob Wilson, though, is Team Bob Wilson is an international team. And to have the whole of Team Fiberific, we need Jacob too, who is currently having his own health issues at the moment, poor bloke. I think he's got like a chest infection or something fun like that to have in an American winter. So he's feeling a bit like death warmed up as far as I could tell. But yeah, so I don't know, it's a bit hard to do full team group things. And Dizzy says, and 1 koala in a tree for me. All right, so that's it. There's no more koala in a tree. That was just the 3 of them. So one's for Dizzy. Dizzy, are you coming to... Oh, you're too sick to travel, aren't you? I was going to say, are you coming to Caffeinated Crafters tonight? But you're crook, man. You've just come out of hospital, eh? I got out last week. Hang on, that has not been half an hour, and I don't know why that went off. Or has it been half an hour? It couldn't have been. Hang on a second. That stopped working. Oh no, it's back. Good, good, good. Um, I'd have to fly Jess over. Imagine that. It would be a party. It would be an absolute party. It would be a party. So Pippin, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them into, how do I describe it? I'm going to pull them from the web store stock. So let me know when you want to order them and I'll put them back in just so no one accidentally buys them before you do. Does that make sense? Jess is off for surgery next week. Well, good luck with that, Jess. I know it's a bit stressful going in for some things. Going in for any surgery at all is stressful. Oh, Jason said he wants to take me to Caffeinated Craft. Cool. Well, if you want me to bring the yarn, let me know. And I'll pack it in the car and take it with. Yeah. So we can talk asthma medications. Lindsay says, I need a hold on the Sparkles and the Leo. I'm with Pippin. Okay, so if you guys can send me just little messages either on Messenger or Instagram or something, just so that after the live stream, I always have a quick look at the social media so I can pull things then. And let me know when I'm holding them till, things like that. I don't normally do that, but you guys are in live chat. Live chat peeps get bonuses, right? That's the deal. You guys sit here for an hour and a half listening to me drivel on. The least I can do is hold yarn until you're ready. I just heard a funny noise. I think my dad's getting in his bus. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, it's a simple procedure, but it's still a bit nerve-wracking, right? Spanichick says she gets bonuses too. Yes, you do, Spanichick. But you work really hard for not a lot of bonuses, I have to say. Like, I feel terrible. And I get bonuses from you. Spanichick turns up here last week, flying visit, didn't stay for longer than 2 minutes, and it was to drop off a box of Cinnabon. Cinnabon's only just opened here in Queensland, and Spanichick happens to have one. I wouldn't say close to her, but it's probably closer to her than to me. And she brought me a packet of Cinnabon in some little flavors, and oh my god, that was evil and good and yummy. Dizzy's back, woohoo! Where are we? Video is fine for me. Knitspin Girl Creations, have you started at the start? Spanichick was justifying not going to the gym. Okay, well, I don't feel so bad about that now because you did manage to get out of going to the gym. So, you know, but sometimes you need a day off things, says Chantel, who's basically had 2 weeks off of everything. You needed to pick me up after your crappy week. I had a very crappy week. You're right. And I definitely needed to pick me up. And everybody loved the Cinnabons. Jess says that she can make her own buns at home. Look, I'm sure I probably could, but I won't. Because if I did, I'm pretty big now, guys. And the way I don't get bigger is by not making evil good food at home. Because I can make a really wicked white chocolate cheesecake, but I don't. Because you got to eat it once you make it. Otherwise, it goes to waste. So yeah, I don't do that sort of stuff. I try not to anyway. Every now and again I will, but not often. Where are we? I actually weighed myself the other day for the first time in like 9 years. Oh, see, I've been having to weigh myself a little bit because doctors need to know your weight for stuff. But I mean, my weight hasn't changed. My clothes still fit the same way. So I'm not happy with my weight, but I'm also not worrying because I'm not gaining. Does that make sense? Oh, my voice is really going and I've got nothing else to drink here. Wow, I'm surprised. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through a whole stream today, you guys. Like, I was prepared in my brain to just do, okay, if I feel dreadful, I'm going to pull the pin. But other than my voice getting croaky, I am not feeling bad. Like, I'm not tired, which I was honestly expecting because I was really truthful. is that I came in here this morning. I did school run. I came into the shack. I set everything up. Then I went inside and sat down. I was like, oh, gosh, I feel like I've done a workout. Jess says, run off and grab a drink. We'll sit here. Jess, I've only got 6 more minutes to go. And I'm not in my house. I'd have to run in. And anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be cautious. Sally says, my issue is I don't exercise. My issue is I find it really hard to do exercises that I can do that don't hurt me more. Like, with zero impact because of how my knee condition is. So, yeah. Drink from the hose. But the garden hose is further away than the kitchen, Spanner Chick. So, hang on. I botched up another stitch here. Let me pick this one off, fix it up, and put it back on. There we go. So I'm going to be, once my voice is back in working order properly, I'm going to be going in and making more videos. I'm going to be getting things ready for a lot of these events. I am signing up for more in-person events this year than the last couple of years. I'm going to make sure I get out and about a bit more. And yeah, my daughter's getting a bit older now, so I don't need to be at home so much. She can get herself home from school no problems, and she can sit here and wait for my husband to get home from work. As a matter of fact, she could probably start making dinner, or at least preheating the oven. Sally says, yeah, same. Don't have the energy and in constant pain. It's hard. It does make it hard. But I also know I'd be in less pain if I didn't weigh as much. So there's both sides of that. Crochet conference, woot, absolutely, Bob Wilson. Because you're so late and in such a bad friend, we had a huge chat about the crochet conference. Guys, Bob Wilson's going to the crochet conference. I didn't want to say anything before, but I'm going to say it now. She's counting down, 217 days to go. So Bob Wilson's going to be at the Crochet Guild of Australia conference. So, yeah. And we will see you there. I will be on my stall and floating around, I'm sure. So we don't have prices yet. They'll be out as soon as I can get them out. Keep an eye on their Instagram page, on their Facebook page. If you're a member, you'll definitely get an email. If you're not a member, why not? It's $70. Sounds heaps. But you also get discounts for conferences, discounts for magazines, and even free magazine from Crochet Exclamation. So free magazines from them. And I think we get one free Yarnology issue. I think that's what it is. Anyway, there's perks, and you should totally join up. And I do believe, don't quote me on this one, I do believe that there are still some founding member badges. You only get one of those badges if you're a founding member. So, and I believe there's still a few more. I can't guarantee it though. You'd need to jump onto their page and ask them. That's right, there's exclusive patterns as well. Absolutely, there are exclusive patterns for members. So if you're a member, go to the Crochet Guild of Australia website, log in, and then you can go and check out your stuff. Jackie says, I don't crochet, that's why I'm not. And that is 100% okay. Because, of course, if you don't crochet, you'd never be interested in any kind of yarn event. Yeah, I agree, Spanner Chick. We could totally. Oh, yeah, there we go. But I might go to the conference just to get to see everybody. See? Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, sometimes we just have to go just so we can hang with our buddies. Like, how often, I mean, it's like based on how many different events we just spoke about, there are quite a few options to visit our Yarn Buddy friends. But not in Queensland. Like, I'm in Queensland. So, yeah. Oh, look at this. Claire is designing a pattern for the guild due out the end of March. Come on, Claire. So that'll be, and that's exclusive to members only. Is that right, Claire? So that won't be going on your website or getting a open tutorial or anything. The spanner wrap. What? Oh, the spanner. Okay. It's as women or as humans, because I know not everybody here is a woman, as humans, our bodies break down. And once we hit that magic 40 number, it's actually 38. But once you hit that 38, your cells no longer replicate and they slowly just break down. And so our bodies go, hey, how's it going? You want to do that thing? No, don't think so. And for some of us, it's been going on a lot longer than that, honestly. Thanks, Rebecca. No, Claire says it's going to be a public pattern. It'll be open to everybody. Okay, there you go. Jackie says she can crochet. It's just not her thing. I understand. I've got stuff that's not my favourite. For sure. Like, I'll tell you something, like, speaking of stuff, I talk about how I couldn't knit or crochet during my brain not working. Do you know what I could do? Diamond dots. Love diamond dots. Are they a guilty pleasure? Honestly, are they a guilty pleasure? Because it is one of those things where it's just like, it requires no effort. I mean, it requires some space, that's for sure, but it requires no effort. And I just was like, oh man, these work for me. I just put on one of them action movies and just sit there, just that goes on that color, that goes on that color. And that's it. That's as far as my brain can go. Is the faux blocking mat still working? Look, it's not technically, but he's stopped sleeping on the desk. He's found another spot. He likes sleeping in one of the crates of yarn. So luckily it was just a crate of acrylic. So when he's done with that, I'm just going to bin it. If for anyone wondering what I'm talking about, it is I made a fake blocking mat. I put one of the blocking mat squares up on my. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump this over to the single camera. So what I've done. Oh, I'm all blurry. There we go. Am I less blurry now? What I've done is I made a big blocking mat, like one of the, when you use the camping mats for blocking, and I've put one of those down, and I put it's a bodgy bit of weaving that I did and pinned it on. That was it. The cat slept on that and would like play with the stuff, and it kept him away from my other blocking, which I was just shocked about. But then he's found a bucket down next to my feet that was full of, like, I had 3 of those massive Aran balls of what do you call that stuff? Acrylic. And he's now sleeping on that. But it did have fabric on it, so maybe the yarn's okay, but I'll have to get in and have a look. Anyway, my lovely friends, I am going to head off for the day. I've got to pack some orders and then go to Caffeinated Crafters tonight. So I would love to see you if you're at Caffeinated Crafters. And then I'm going to have a rest, I think. At some stage, I'll pick my daughter up from school as well. It's focused on the camera. Okay, that's all right. I don't mind. I'll sort it out later. It's because I touched it and anyway, wrecked it. So I'm going to see you all later, and you have a fantastic week. And fingers are crossed, but I think we're back into the swing of things. So next week we'll be back. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you next time. So see you later. Bye.